So as the NBA regular season is winding down, I think there's like 6 or 7 games left, maybe less than that. The Denver Nuggets decided to part ways with Mike Malone and also Calvin Booth. Uh, this move was a surprising move due to the fact that the regular season is closing. I think the Denver Nuggets are positioned fourth. If they lose one more game, there's a possibility of them getting the eighth seed or maybe possibly playing in the play-in tournament. But I don't think that was the final nail to the coffin of Mike Malone. A lot of people are blaming the Joker on this move, this new player empowerment. I read some articles about this, and I believe this comes straight from the owner. I don't know if it's gotten the blessing of the players or even their superstar Joker. But Mike Malone is a tough as nails coach, and he just tells it like it is, okay? He's one of those guys that's going to preach accountability. He's also going to tell you right in your face if you're wrong or if you're right. Mike Malone doesn't come off as a coach that is just going to placate and massage egos and things of that nature. But after reading a couple of articles, the owner was growing frustrated with the GM, Calvin Booth, and Mike Malone. He was urging them to play more of the younger players, get the younger players getting more player time. You know, you know, the Denver Nuggets not too long ago, they were NBA champions. Okay, this is not like 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 4 years ago. It was like a couple of seasons, less than 2 seasons ago. They won the title, and you would think that job security should be a problem with Mike Malone. I think that he deserved an extra couple of years due to the fact that they had to recalibrate the roster. A lot of the veteran players that were depended on when they won that championship, they either gotten older or they moved to other teams. And I think the owner wanted Mike Malone to, play the younger players a lot more to instead of going out into free agency. I don't think the owner was hard pressed on Russell Westbrook. That was a head scratcher to the owner, but to the GM and to Mike Malone, he's a veteran, established player. And Mike Malone is one of those coaches that rather coach veteran players than younger players. Okay, that's just his MO. A lot of veteran coaches prefer that. They rather, have their faith in the hands of a veteran established player than a younger player or a rookie or anything like that, unless that rookie is the number one pick and he's a transitioning star. Okay. But yeah, this is a crazy move with just a few games of the regular season. Now, this can do either one or two things. This can spark a fire in the players and galvanize them. And let's just say win one for the Gipper and, win the title without Mike Malone there. To show Mike Malone they could have done it without him, or to just, win the title and dedicate the title to Mike Malone just getting them there. Either way, it galvanizes them. All right. Or this is going to fall flat on their face, and they're going to be one of those mid-tier teams that they're good enough where they're not going to be able to get a first round pick, or that they're not going to be bad enough to be eligible for a first round pick, but they're not good enough to contend in with the regular season. Well, not the regular season, excuse me, with the playoffs, contending for a ring, because those players are getting older and older. Jokic is only getting older and older. Murray is getting older. Eventually, these players are going to have other players to help them contend for titles. It's no different than what the Los Angeles Clippers and the Lakers are doing, and the Golden State Warriors. They still have pieces of their core. Draymond Green and Steph Curry, but these guys are older and these guys are not what they used to be. So, of course, adding pieces here and there to help them, contend into the playoffs will be very beneficial to the Golden State Warriors. And I feel like the Denver Nuggets are one of those type teams that would need a Jimmy Butler. Even though Jimmy Butler is with the Golden State Warriors, a trade like that would really help the Denver Nuggets. But I feel like there's two different types of philosophies that are tugging at the rope. I feel like the owner wants to, depend more so on the younger talent. That'd be cost efficient for the owner. He wouldn't have to pay a slew of money. And if Mike Malone was still there, he wants to contend with titles, and he's more so with the veteran players. They're more established, they're more polished. So yeah, that was the tug of war that they was having over there in that arena. And when you're having a tug of war with the owner's gonna win 10 times out of 10. He owns the team. You can't fire the owner. You're just gonna have to, whatever the owner wants, you're just gonna have to co-sign with it, like it or not. I don't think Mike Malone liked it a lot. He was still trying to do his own thing. He had the GM in his pocket, and the owner says, let's do a 2-for-1. Let's get rid of the GM as well as the coach. We'll recalibrate, and we'll see how far this team takes us. And then in the offseason, we'll get us a new coach and we'll get us a new GM. All right. So that's the food for thought for the owner side of things. Like I said, the Denver Nuggets are a veteran team led by Jokic and Murray, and you got Russell Westbrook. So I think this will bother them, but I think they can put it to the side and say, let's just win one for the Gipper. Okay. We'll see what happens with the faith of them in the postseason. Possibly we'll see them in the finals. Maybe not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded a lot. Just not a lot of stuff going on newsworthy wise. So guys, I really do appreciate everyone that's been subscribing to the channel, watching the videos, sharing it. So I really do appreciate all that. I'm up out of here. If something breaks during this week, of course, I'm going to talk about it. If not, see you on the flip side of things. Maybe next week something turns up. But guys, I'm up out of here. Deuces.